have that connection brings a certain fire inside of you. It feels real.
If that's not joy, I don't know what is.
I've always been grateful for every opportunity.
There's a lot of people that want to simplify their lives, but don't really know how to do that.
There's a beauty to flexibility and a simplicity.
Throughout the world, there are people who have created lives of deep meaning and happiness by connecting with nature and the processes of simplification. Come with me on a journey and let's find out how they've done it. Kirsten Rechnitz is one of those people that come along once in a blue moon. She's a Vanderbilt graduate, wilderness guide, artist, and explorer of wild places. I recently caught up with Kirsten in my hometown of Boulder, Colorado. When I first met you, I was in southern Utah, and I think that's kind of your homeland, right?
My homeland,
Homeland these days. And I was like, what's this girl from Vanderbilt doing out in this stuff?
Well, I think that, everything that I did, particularly after I graduated, just kind of led me down this path to becoming somebody who wanted to simplify my life and spend as much time outside as possible. I really wanted to connect with nature. I found that by minimizing my possessions, I had a lot of mobility, and that freedom was really liberating to me. So the whole lifestyle kind of came together for me over time.
How did that happen? What was the impetus?
A number of things. I found out that I really loved to walk. I was doing anthropology research in Mexico and climbing all of these pyramids and temples and ruins, and did a lot of hitchhiking around Mexico. So I really learned that walking was awesome for me. I would say that walking is probably the purest thing I do with my life.
You go to Vanderbilt, you graduate. Aren't you supposed to be like a lawyer or a doctor or something? And
yes, I did.
How does your family feel about this stuff?
Originally, it was a bit difficult for my family to figure out why I wanted to do what I was doing, why I didn't want to follow the path that was outlined for me. I think particularly for my mom, she was afraid that I wouldn't have any financial stability in my life by being a guide and, not needing a lot of money, so not focusing on making a lot of money, and this scared her for my future. I think she was also just really uncomfortable because she didn't have any experience out in the wild.
Mm-hmm. And did you find that transition hard? I'm sure she did. Did you find it hard going down a different path and people expecting you to be a certain way or a certain thing, and then you're kind of doing something totally different?
What I found difficult about it was that I had to explain myself all the time, and over time that almost became offensive, as if people didn't trust that I was doing something that I found to be physically and emotionally and spiritually and intellectually fulfilling and good to do with my time.
What do you see that are the big takeaways that your students get when they go out and experience this?
I believe that when you're out on the land for a prolonged period of time with very few or no modern resources, you become very raw. You're completely exposed, and that challenge is beautiful. What are you like? Are you a leader? Are you a follower? Are you honorable? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Are you a punk? Do you become aggressive or anxious when things go wrong? Who are you?
So you mentioned that when you were doing your TV show that you became prey. Mm-hmm. And you've always been a predator. Mm-hmm. So what was that like?
Yeah.
That feeling?
And
can you describe it?
Oh, anxiety-ridden. And at the same time, a need to be stealthy and quiet, strong, cunning. The utilization of all of your senses is maximized when you're prey.
You're eating, essentially a Paleolithic diet often. What are the ramifications of that? And
Yeah, I think that when you eat off the land, most things are positive. To eat watercress and stinging nettle and pine nuts and mushrooms and dandelions and all of these fresh greens, it makes you feel like you're eating sunshine and you're just, glowing from within. You feel strong, like you really have all of the vitamins and minerals you need to carry on. And so there's a lot of pros to that.
so give us your philosophy at this stage of things in a nutshell.
My philosophy
Yeah.
on life?
Just how you should
To be honest with you, my philosophy on life is that I don't have philosophies. Because as circumstances change, as I change and grow, I will break any philosophy that I've held to, most likely. So for example, I didn't eat meat growing up. The moment I decided that I was intrigued about eating meat and I wanted the protein, I ate meat. And so now, would you say, I would never say I think it's best to be a hunter-gatherer, or I think it's best to be a vegetarian, or I am against eating commercial meat, or I don't know. I mean, I've been a lot of different ways. I've been a vegan, I've been a vegetarian, I've been a meat eater, I've eaten commercial meat, I've only confined myself to eating, meat that I've harvested from the land, right? To have a philosophy about any of this, I think, is almost inappropriate. It just is very dependent.
Mm-hmm. Can you give some examples of how people have found, or you have found, gratitude through a deeper connection with nature?
Yes, I am grateful that whenever I really am out in nature, enjoying myself and relaxing into it, I am always at my best. I am happier, stronger, kinder, more thoughtful. It brings out the best of me to be connected with nature, and I want to be my best.
Whenever I'm with Kirsten, I learn much. In this case, I love her idea that her philosophy is no philosophy. I also love that gleam in her eye, and it's something that I see so often in people that spend a lot of time in the outdoors. Please join me in our next episode when I interview Graham Hill, founder of Life Edited, and we'll find out what the urbanites have to say about simple living.
Me Simple is building a website around the topics of simple living, finding gratitude, and connection with nature and the world around us. If you know of individuals, books, articles, or videos that address these topics, please share them with us today at mesimple.com.